Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The Express reported Meghan shared awkward pleasantries on the birthday call with King Charles, which is being described as polite. A source told Closer, Harry and Meghan have already been turned down for numerous projects they had in the pipeline, including an HBO documentary, which Meghan is blaming on the fact their royal connection is fading, a source revealed to the magazine. She's become extremely snappy and begged Harry to do something to prevent them from being cut off completely, even urging him to take a solo trip to talk to Charles and William in a desperate attempt to keep a foot in the door. Royal commentator Rafe Heidel-Manku spoke to GB News about the notion of a Christmas visit. He said, "This whole story is quite remarkable. Christmas Day is infamously a day when we all have too many snowballs and cherry brandies and get into family fights. But you can just imagine in terms of Christmas fights, Harry and Meghan's presence at Sandringham would quite literally be a battle royale. You can only imagine what the Prince and Princess of Wales will be thinking about the idea and the prospect of having Christmas with Harry and Meghan, having their private conversations pop up in a future Netflix special or sequel to Harry's tacky memoir. If you remember, Harry made the arrogant demand that the royal family apologise and acknowledge their guilt for their treatment of the couple. Now we are seeing quite the opposite of it all. Pride comes before a fall. The King has actually stood his ground throughout all of this quite wisely. And in the end now it's Prince Harry who has made the humiliating climb down. Meghan Markle recently revisited Justice for Girls, a Canadian non-profit dedicated to aiding teenage girls living in poverty. During her visit to the Vancouver office of the charity, a repeat of her 2020 visit, Meghan engaged in a discussion about the organization's mission with Jessica Lake and Laurie Thompson of the Lake families, All One Fund and a group of women. Justice for Girls, as described on its official website, champions the health and well-being of impoverished teenage girls striving for their access to equality, freedom from violence, and colonialism. Meghan's time at the Justice for Girls office was shared on Instagram by the non-profit, spotlighting notable moments of her visit. The post mentioned a feminist advocate from a young age herself. The Duchess was keen to chat with two of our teen interns to discuss their personal struggles for justice. Her genuine and understanding approach left the girls feeling heard, supported, and inspired. Jan Moyer, writing for the Daily Mail, had an observation on Meghan's transactional relationships. Moyer writes, Tyler Perry was on Kelly Ripa's show, revealing how Meghan got in touch with him after he sent her a note of support. They had not long been friends, but that didn't stop Perry becoming Princess Lilibet's godfather. Meghan is not the first ambitious mother who selected a wealthy and well-connected patron to become a godfather to their children. But the shock is how little it took. A few phone calls and the loan of the house. Honey, I pimped the kids. Perry had told Ripa, everyone thought Oprah introduced us, but Oprah didn't even know that I reached out to them. I sent them a note and just said, if you ever need anything, I'm here. And she called months later and just started talking to me like I was a therapist, and we just had a great conversation. It's very important for people in this business to have a safe place to land, to have a place where they can trust and talk freely, and get advice that's not going to be biased or from somebody who wants something from them. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Princess Eugenie was on the Table Manners podcast. Asked about her feelings towards criticism on her appearance and looks, Eugenie acknowledged the challenges she faced. She admitted that such scrutiny definitely has caused a couple of issues, particularly with the pressure of having to look a certain way after receiving negative comments. Eugenie reflected, I guess everybody has it that you're in the public eye. I guess within our family, it happens at that perfect age when you're 13 years old and you've got that dorky bowl haircut and you're a bit chubby and all the boys are bullying you and all that kind of stuff. She also discussed her most rebellious moment. I think my rebellious moment was going to New York, but not because I was rebelling. I wanted to see what life was like and how I had to do things. And let's wrap up with a bit of fun. During last week's visit by the South Korean delegation, the guards at Buckingham Palace opened up their songbook and played Gangham Style by Psy and Doo 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 by @Blackpink. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify or Apple or your app of choice. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for us. It really helps. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue and good times.